Close your eyes and imagine this. A tree so vast that its roots dig into the deepest darkness and its branches cradle the sky. This is no ordinary tree but Yggdrasil, the world tree, the axis upon which all existence turns. To the Norse, this tree was not just a symbol, it was reality itself. Its branches, thick and strong, stretch across creation, binding together 9 distinct realms like pearls on an invisible string. When the wind rustles its leaves, the sound carries across worlds, a reminder that what happens in one realm is felt in all. The gods sit under its shade, creatures of myth make their homes within its bark and roots, and even the fates themselves are said to carve destiny at its base. It is the very heart of the cosmos, and tonight, we will climb its branches, journey through its roots, and explore the 9 realms that it holds together. At the highest and most glorious part of Yggdrasil rests Asgard, the shining home of the Aesir gods. Imagine golden halls glinting in the sun, towering walls that gleam like polished bronze, and a vast rainbow bridge stretching across the void to meet Midgard far below. This is Bifrost, the bridge between gods and mortals, watched over by Heimdall with eyes so sharp he can see grass growing on distant plains and ears so keen he can hear wool growing on a sheep's back. Asgard is not merely a place of power, it is the heart of divine governance, a realm where decisions are made that shape the fates of all living beings. But make no mistake, Asgard is not a peaceful utopia. Its gods are not distant, serene overseers but fierce warriors and cunning rulers. At its center stands Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain, where the bravest warriors chosen by Odin are brought after death. Here they feast each night, drink endless mead from the udders of the magical goat Heidrun, and fight glorious battles by day, preparing for the last war to come. Asgard's walls, high and impenetrable, were not built without struggle. The myths tell of a mysterious builder who promised to complete the fortifications of Asgard in a single season, demanding as payment the sun, the moon, and the goddess Freya herself. The gods agreed, but when the builder nearly completed his task, they grew fearful of losing so much. It was Loki, the shapeshifter, who intervened with trickery, ensuring the builder's failure. The price was not paid, the wall stood strong, and Asgard became a fortress against the chaos beyond. But Asgard is not alone among the branches of Yggdrasil's crown. Not far from the shining city lies Vanaheim, the realm of the Vanir gods. If the Aesir are warriors and rulers, the Vanir are something else entirely, keepers of secrets, masters of fertility, of magic, of the quiet forces that make crops grow and rivers flow. Vanaheim is imagined as a lush, green world, where fields stretch far and wide, where life bursts forth in every season. It was once said that the Vanir and the Aesir went to war, though no one truly remembers what caused it. For a time, the war raged across the worlds, spears flew, spells were cast, and both sides suffered greatly. In the end, peace was struck not through victory but through exchange. Each pantheon gave hostages to the other to ensure trust and balance. From this exchange came Njord, the god of the sea who brings calm winds and fair weather, and his children Freyr and Freya, who became beloved among the Aesir. This truce was more than politics. It was the binding of 2 worlds, and ever since, Vanaheim and Asgard have shared a destiny. Deeper into the branches, beyond Asgard's watchful gaze, lies Alfheim, the realm of the Light Elves. The surviving stories tell us little of this place, but the skalds describe the elves as radiant, more beautiful than the sun itself, glowing with a light that seems to come from within. They are associated with inspiration, fertility, and the gentle forces that guide life. When the god Freyr came of age, Alfheim was given to him as a tooth gift, a rite of passage present, making him its ruler and protector. Try to picture it. A land where the light is soft and eternal, where rivers run like silver threads through meadows that never wither, where laughter echoes from unseen figures dancing under moonlit groves. Alfheim may be the least described of the 9 realms, but its very mystery makes it one of the most enchanting. But where there is light, there must also be shadow. Beneath the earth, in caverns and hidden halls, lies Svartalfheim, the world of the dwarves, though some traditions call them dark elves. Here the air smells of fire, of metal cooling on anvils, and of stone long unbroken. The dwarves are the finest smiths in all creation, and from their forges came treasures that shaped the fate of gods and men. It was they who forged Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, so heavy that only he could wield it, and Gungnir, Odin's spear, which never misses its mark. They created Draupnir, the golden ring that multiplies itself, spilling endless wealth. but their gifts are never without consequence. Many of their creations are laced with curses, traps hidden in the gold, as though to remind gods and mortals alike that power always comes at a cost. Svartalfheim is a place of cunning, of danger, and of unparalleled craftsmanship. A world where the roots of Yggdrasil twist through stone, and strange creatures lurk in the dark. And then we come to Midgard, our realm, the middle world. Midgard is a fortress of its own, a place encircled by a great ocean so vast it holds the serpent Jormungandr, so large that he bites his own tail. The gods themselves built Midgard as a stronghold against the chaos of the giants, using the eyebrows of the slain primordial giant Ymir to form its borders. This is the world where humanity dwells, a realm both ordinary and extraordinary. It is here that the gods walk among mortals, sometimes in disguise, sometimes openly, influencing the fates of kings and farmers alike. Midgard is fragile, yet central to the cosmic balance. Here, under the sun and moon, the drama of life plays out: birth and death, joy and sorrow, harvest and famine. And though we may seem small compared to the giants, compared to gods, our place in the 9 realms is vital, for what happens in Midgard echoes across all worlds. These first 5 realms, Asgard, Vanaheim, Alfheim, Svartalfheim, and Midgard, form the upper and middle branches of Yggdrasil. They are the shining, vibrant faces of the cosmos, but beyond them, the tree grows darker. The air grows colder, the wind sharper, and the worlds that lie below are wilder, more dangerous. To understand the 9 realms fully, we must leave the safety of the branches and descend, step by step, into the roots of Yggdrasil, where chaos, fire, and death await. The branches grow thinner as we descend, the light of Asgard fading above us, until all around there is only shadow and the whisper of the wind through Yggdrasil's leaves. Here, near the trunk's vast middle, we find a realm unlike any of the shining worlds above. Jotunheim, the land of giants. Forget the clumsy, stumbling brutes of fairy tales. The Jotnar, the giants of Norse myth, are older than the gods themselves, born from the primordial frost long before Asgard's walls were raised. They are the children of Ymir, the first being whose very body became the raw material from which the worlds were shaped. Imagine standing on a rugged cliff in Jotunheim, mountains rising like teeth all around you, icy winds cutting across the plains. This is a world of raw, untamed power. Deep forests full of ancient spirits, glaciers that creak like living things, rivers swollen with snowmelt rushing toward the sea. The Jotnar are not merely enemies of the gods. They are their rivals, their relatives, and sometimes their lovers. Many of the Aesir themselves are descended from giants, including Odin, who is said to have giant blood running through his veins. But there is tension, always tension. Thor, the thunder god, makes frequent journeys to Jotunheim, his hammer Mjolnir slung across his back, to keep the giants from threatening Midgard and Asgard alike. These are some of the most thrilling adventures in Norse myth: contests of strength, battles of wits, and journeys through landscapes where everything seems larger, stranger, more dangerous. But if Jotunheim is wild, the world that lies deeper still is something altogether more primal. Far below, past where the roots of Yggdrasil twist into the abyss, there burns a realm of eternal flame, Muspelheim. This is no gentle fire, no comforting hearth. Muspelheim is the roaring furnace of creation and destruction, the endless inferno where rivers of molten rock flow and sparks leap like stars. It was from Muspelheim's fire that the first warmth touched the frost of Niflheim, melting it and bringing forth Ymir, the first giant, and Audhumla, the primeval cow who licked the ice until the first god was freed. Fire is life, but it is also death, and Muspelheim is ruled by Surt, the fire giant whose flaming sword blazes brighter than the sun. The prophecies tell us that one day at the end of time, Surt will leave Muspelheim and lead his army across the Bifrost Bridge, shattering it with his heat, setting the world ablaze. It is a terrifying vision, the idea that this realm of fire is not just distant but waiting, patient, like a coal glowing in the dark, biding its time until the great ending comes. And yet without Muspelheim, there would be no creation at all, for it was its fire that gave life its spark. Opposite fire lies its eternal counterpart, Niflheim, the world of ice, mist, and bitter cold. Here there is no sun, no warmth, only endless fog and darkness. Imagine a place where the air bites at your skin, where frost creeps like a living thing, where the ground is slick with rime. At the heart of Niflheim lies Hvergelmir, the roaring cauldron, a great spring from which flow 11 rivers. These rivers, freezing and venomous, spread throughout the cosmos, feeding seas and lakes across the 9 realms. But Hvergelmir is no peaceful well. Around it coil serpents beyond counting, and among them gnaws Nidhogg, the dread dragon, chewing at the roots of Yggdrasil itself. His hunger never ceases, and with every bite, he weakens the world tree a little more. The Norns, the Fates, who dwell at the well of Ord watch carefully, for if Nidhogg ever succeeds in severing the root entirely, the entire cosmos would collapse. And yet, strangely, Nidhogg is not always seen as purely evil. In the Norse worldview, even destruction has its place. What he gnaws away must eventually fall so that new growth can replace it. He is a reminder that nothing, not even Yggdrasil, lasts forever. But of all the realms at Yggdrasil's roots, none are as haunting as Helheim, the land of the dead. Picture a valley far from light, its ground frozen and gray, its sky heavy with mist. Here dwells Hel, the daughter of Loki, cast out of Asgard by Odin himself because her very presence was unsettling. Her face and body are divided, one side beautiful and living, the other side pale and corpse-like. She is not cruel, but she is unyielding. Her hall is Eljudnir, whose name means sprayed with snowstorm, and its gates open for those who have died not in battle but in sickness, in age, in quietness. Helheim is not a place of punishment. It is not a hell in the Christian sense. It is simply the place where most of the dead go. Warriors who fall bravely in battle are taken by the Valkyries to Odin's Valhalla or to Freya's Hall Sessrumnir, but everyone else, kings, peasants, wanderers, must pass through Hel's realm. It is said that Baldur, the shining god beloved by all, now dwells there after his death, waiting for the end of days when he will return. Helheim, then, is both an ending and a promise. It is the quiet after life's storm, the stillness before the world begins anew. And so we have traveled through all 9 realms: Asgard, Vanaheim, Alfheim, Svartalfheim, Midgard, Jotunheim, Muspelheim, Niflheim, and Helheim. Together they form a cosmic web, each one influencing the others. The gods watch the giants scheme against the gods, the dwarves forge treasures that tilt the balance of power, and humans, often unaware, play their part in the great story. Yggdrasil stands at the center of it all, creaking softly as it holds the weight of existence. Its branches shelter eagles and stags, its roots hide serpents and dragons, and at its trunk the Norns carve runes into the wood, shaping the destiny of everything that lives. Even the gods cannot escape what is written there. And yet, for all its majesty, Yggdrasil is not eternal. The myths tell us of Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods, when fire and ice will clash once more, when Surt will set the world aflame, when Jormungandr will rise from the sea and Fenrir, the great wolf, will break his chains. The 9 realms will tremble, fall, and burn. But out of the ashes, a new world will grow, green, fresh, and full of life. Perhaps a new Yggdrasil will rise, its branches ready to cradle new realms, new stories, new fates. So when you think of the 9 realms, do not imagine them as distant, separate worlds. Imagine them as neighbors, as reflections of each other, all bound to the same living tree. What happens in one echoes in the rest. Every storm, every birth, every battle, it all shakes Yggdrasil's leaves. And maybe, just maybe, when you feel the wind stir through the trees around you, you are hearing an echo of the world tree itself, whispering that the story is still being told. If you enjoyed this journey through the 9 realms, give this video a like, subscribe to Mythic Odyssey, and share which realm fascinates you the most. Would you walk the shining halls of Asgard, or dare to peer into the mists of Helheim?